renderers aren't very useful if you can't look at them in real time, which is why we should next look at the Interactive Preview Renderer, or IPR. What you see in this preview, with very, very few exceptions, is exactly what you can expect to see when you hit F9 or F10. This big mass of buttons I know is confusing to new users, so let me point out only the most relevant stuff for right now. The reload button is something you need to be aware of. Although Octane is usually pretty smart about syncing up IPR with your lightweight viewports, there are a few things that it cannot keep track of. For example, if I use the Modeler Tools tab functions to throw geometry into this scene, we can clearly see that IPR isn't showing this change. Hitting reload essentially resyncs your scene with Octane. Initially, IPR will reflect the view of your current camera, which includes the field of view and photoreal motion blur if you have that enabled in native Lightwave's camera properties. If you left-click drag or use the mouse wheel, you can offset the pan and zoom of the camera, which is extremely useful for focusing in on a specific detail without needing to physically move or change anything in your scene. To clear any panning or zooming that you've done, simply press the Reset button to get things back to normal. IPR also allows you to control its viewport directly, or look at a specific object within the scene through the camera pull-down option. Target centers IPR to whatever you have selected, and allows you to adjust the viewing angle exactly as you would in Lightwave's OpenGL viewport. Perspective is the same as target, except that the viewport is not tethered to any item and you can pan around freely. Something I frequently find myself doing is first setting the viewport to target to center it in on a specific spot in my scene, then I immediately switch to perspective to maximize control over the viewport. Note that you can create a null and use the target option with it for those times when object selections can't get your viewport centered in the desired location. Another highly important function of the IPR window is to give you quick access to your scene's surfaces by holding Shift and left-clicking, which immediately opens the surface editor and shows you any nodes if present.